Hi everyone, this is Deborah W. And today I wanted to play with, because I have a fun little tutorial coming up, and so today I'm kind of playing with mixing some reds with those fun MeiLang metallics that they have, which I'm really loving. Now keep in mind, I'll share a few supplies with you right now. If you don't need to see the supplies, you can just skip forward, but I like these MeiLang palettes. I started with this one because I think for a beginner, it already has so many of your colors mixed for you. You don't have to deal with that. A beginning watercolor artist, there's so much to think about. The more you can make it easy for you, the better. And I'm just kind of a lazy artist sometimes, and I don't want to mix all my colors. Now, I just recently bought this one. I just wanted to try it because it has the same colors as this smaller palette, plus the metallics, which I thought were fun. I'm using my Artisto pad I share with you all the time, and I love this pad because it kind of keeps all my daily practices in one place. It is perforated if I wanted to tear something off, but for the most part, I label all these little books seasonally. Maybe one's all birds, one's all color mixes, and then I have them all together as a reference, so I like them. The Artisto pads, I will tell you, are not 100% cotton, but I don't care about that. I've tried out a ton of just practice type paper because I can't afford to use my Arches good paper every day for all of these tutorials and practicing, and I found the Artisto pad was my favorite. It didn't warp. It has great texture, which is a draw for me. I'm also going to be using, let's see, my 8 Princeton Round Velvet Touch, which you know is my favorite. Beginners, there's this amazing little Degato set. It's a whole set for like $12, and I've been using these for about 6 months, and I really, really like them. Shocked how well they're working. So I'll link that for you, and then I'll link my Velvet Touch 8. That's just been my go-to since college, probably, because that's what they told us to get. That was decades ago. I like the feel. It's got a nice feel, but to be very honest, I've, like I said, been using these Degatos for 6 months, and they are great. It's still in good shape, and they're a great brush. I've got my little Meeden palette here. You see me show the Meeden palette a lot because I've been using their big one. One of you asked me about a big palette. So I was using that, and then I just recently got this one, and it's smaller, and I really like it. I like the big wells. I like a lot of room to mix my paints. And then have your 2 wells of water because you want to wash in one and rinse in one. And make sure before you're changing colors, what I do is, I don't have a tissue, but I have this little towel here. What I do to make sure my brush has all the previous paint out is I'll just rub it on my towel. And as you can see, there's no color there. So I know my brush is good and clean. Also, before you put it away, just do that to make sure it's really clean. By the way, you guys are always so perceptive. I know what somebody's going to ask me what this one is. This was the 8. This is the round 6 Princeton. Just has a little bit smaller brush, can get a little more detail. So take care of your brushes. And I think that's it. I think we're ready. So let's play a little bit with some of these reds. I had so much fun the other day playing with, what colors did we do the other day? I think we did some peaches and pinks and browns. So today I thought we would do some reds. I thought would be really fun. So let me get, I want to start with, although I think I use this rose red, which is kind of a bright pink red. Let's move over to, this is deep magenta. And let's just give that a try. So as you see, when I go into my paints, I'm going in with the belly of my brush. I'm not going in like this because that would damage your brush, and making sure I'm not getting any in the ferrule down here because it's not good to have paint in your ferrule there, okay? Let's go ahead, and this is, first I'm gonna start with just that deep magenta. So there we go. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. It's almost reminds me of like the little Christmas berries. I think that's beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse my brush, wash and rinse my brush. So see, if I push it onto my towel, there's no color there at all. So I know that is a nice clean brush, not carrying over this bright red to my next color. I think first I'll mix it with their, let's see, they're referring to this as royal gold. La-ti-da, right? Okay, so here's their gold. Ooh, that is pretty, isn't it? That is definitely a royal gold. And I'm doing it this way so I can write in here, okay, this was deep magenta plus royal gold equals, and now I'm just going to paint in what they look like mixed. So now if I'm looking for a red for my painting, I can refer back to this book and say, oh, you know, I remember I really liked that one mix I had. So let me go in and grab a little bit of that royal red. I'm sorry, the deep magenta. I just made up a color there. Maybe that's what we should call it, huh? And there you go. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. I'm going to add a little bit more gold to that because I love the metallics. There we go. Yeah, I like that a little better. So it's almost, because that gold has a little bit of yellow warm tone, it's turning it just a tiny bit like almost terracotta, which I really like, but it's got that beautiful shimmer. So that's really pretty. Okay, for our next one, let's see. Let's go to our, how about let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try their scarlet, see what that is. It kind of looks almost to me like a alizarin crimson. So it's a little bit more orangey red. This was really a deep, more Merlot red. So let's get this on here. How fun is this, right? I love mixing my colors, especially anything with metallics. So hopefully you can see that. Wash and rinse my brush. Just make sure I got all that red paint out of it. And to know how much water I should have on my brush, I just kind of do it, but I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, depending on how hard you're pushing on there. And then let's combine that. Now, I'm going to guess it's going to be just a lighter orangey color because, again, this has a yellow hue to it, right? It's kind of a yellow undertone. So when it's mixed with red, it's going to turn orange because the two primaries are orange, are going to make orange, yellow and red. So let's mix those now. Let me pick up that scarlet. I haven't got quite enough water on my brush, so you just saw there, it gave me that dry brush effect, which is great for dirt or wood, posts, great for landscaping. Okay, and now let's add to that some of that, what they're calling royal gold. Love that. Great job, MeiLang, making your colored names kind of fun. Wash and rinse my brush because I don't want to go in with that red. Add a little bit more of that gold. And there you go. So it's definitely, this would be a great color palette if you were painting like the Italian countryside or something like that. So I'm going to write in here, let's see, we used Scarlet plus Royal Gold, and I'll write up here MeiLang palette so I know it wasn't my Winsor Newtons, which is always kind of been my go-to. And then those two together equaled this. Isn't that gorgeous? These are kind of fun to me. I love making these color boards. Okay, let's go for a different red. Let's try maybe, let's try their Cad red, which is definitely got more yellow in it. Therefore, it's an orange. Secondary color, red and yellow make orange. So it's got already a lot of orange in it. So when I mix it with the gold, it's going to come out definitely the lightest out of these so far. I'm really, I think, liking this one the best. So wash and rinse my brush. Let's go back to that gold, pick up that gold. There we go. So fun. I love making these. And there's been so many times in the past where I would think, oh, I remember I made that one really pretty combination. Where'd I put it? So that's why, another reason why I love these little books, because I would probably at least remember this was a fall book, and I could go back and I'll mark this book on the outside, fall colors, fall color boards, whatever I want for the seasons. Okay, so we've got our orange. Now let's add our royal gold to it. Wash, rinse my brush. And let's see what we get now. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, a lot of times on these color boards too, what I'll do is I'll stretch it out and add water and get the lighter values, but I want to put some different colors over here. So I was kind of trying to leave myself for some room. So it felt like I wanted to add a little bit more gold to that, maybe even a little bit more. I'm really liking, now I had a drip on there, so it just puddled in there, which I don't want. We don't want puddles. There we go. Like I want even a little bit more. There we go. That's kind of what I was expecting. Okay, and then let's just do, how about, let's do a light orange with the gold. And then on this side, we're going to use this bronzy color. So because these are kind of colors I would tend to use in fall. Or maybe we should add, I don't think yellow ochre is going to be that big of a difference. That's why I was kind of avoiding that. But I might use something like this one here, which is, I love this color in the MeiLang palette, by the way, and they refer to that as, let's just find it here. That is their yellow sienna. I actually really like this color. So I could see me using this in leaves and such. So it's already somewhat of a light color, even when I use it almost full strength. You'll notice some colors are just more transparent than others. This one is already a pretty transparent color. So let's get our gold on there, and then we'll mix them together and see what we get. So there's our gold. Okay. Wash my brush. So see the difference? If you're not rinsing your brush, my water's starting to get dirty. Now watch when I go on this white towel. See how it's got that pinkish tint? That's why it's so important to use a rinse too, because now look, it's perfectly clear. So really important, guys, to use both of those. Okay, let's pick up some of that yellow sienna. And then we're going to add that gold to it, which I feel like my prediction is going to be, it's going to be similar, but it's going to have a sheen and shine to it. So let's rinse our brush, wash our brush, rinse our brush, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pick up some of that gold and mix that in. So that's exactly what happened here, is it had a lot of the same hue. It just made it kind of shimmery. So not a huge difference, aside from it did make it shiny. So let's move on to, let's try the bronze with that and see how much of a difference it makes. So this one was the deep magenta, which is this one. Oh, and I didn't mark these, didn't I? I'll have to go back and mark those. So here's our deep magenta, which I love this color. Wash and rinse my brush. That's when you really have to make sure your brush is washed, because it's really opaque and dark and it will take over your whole painting. Okay, and then let's go for this bronze. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Ugh, I just love metallics. So this has got more of a red in it. So there we go. Wash and rinse my brush. Now let's combine the two. So let's see, where was I? Right here. And now let's get our swatch of red. So this is the same deep magenta, but this time I'm just mixing it with the bronze, and mix in that bronze and see what we get. Ooh, I actually, gosh, I really like that one. Let's try that again. Add in a little bit more. That's really pretty. It's definitely a little different than this one. Get some more there. And just keep going till you get the color you want. Yeah, that's really pretty. Very similar, but different. And now normally what I would do on my color palettes is I would pull those out and get lighter values with that, just so I can see. Okay, so let's go back here. And this was, let's see, what color was that? That was Cad Red, I think. Plus Royal Gold equals, and then this was Yellow Sienna plus Royal Gold equals, and this one was Dark Magenta plus, they call it, well, they just call it bronze. No royal, they didn't add to it. Okay, so let's go on to our next one. Let's try this scarlet. Let's see, which color? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these colors kind of look different in here, or the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's pick up that one. And I'm, again, loading my brush, the belly, not scrubbing the tip. And how I have noticed in the past when I say, uh-oh, I'm using my tip to load my brush, is you're going to have those little holes in the middle of your little palettes, and that's how you know, no, your brush is screaming at you. Don't smash my tip in there. And then you just want to make sure that you're not taking it all the way to the ferrule. Okay, so this is our scarlet. I have brushes I have had since I was in high school. This is one of them. This is one she had us get. It was a Liquitex. It's actually Kolinsky. And this brush has been around a long time, but I take care of my brushes. I'm always making sure they're shaped, they dry laying down, and that makes a big difference. Okay, so let's mix that with our bronze. Get our bronze here. There we go, a little bit more. And let's see what color that is. going to make. Wash and rinse my brush, pick up that scarlet. There we go. Okay. Wash, rinse, and let's add that bronze in. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So this one is much more of an orangey undertone because the gold, as a lot of you probably expected, has more yellow in it. This is a little bit different undertone. Oop. Make sure you go into your clean water. And there we go. I like that. Really pretty. So a little bit different. Now let's go into our cad red, which has more of that yellow in it. Let's see, which one's cad red here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one. Definitely this is got a lot more yellow in it, which is why it came out a light orange when mixed with the yellow undertones of gold. Okay. Pick up our bronze color, and then we'll mix the two to see what we get. Wash, rinse our brush, and put that red down again. There we go. And mix in our bronze with that. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So definitely a little richer, deeper hue than when mixed with the gold. Let's pick up some of that because I want to see some of that gold in there. So this is just lifting some of that paint so I can see what it looks like under there. That would be a lighter value. And that's really pretty. Okay, our last one is, let's go in for that yellow sienna, which is right here, one of my favorite colors. And yes, I did just go into the wrong water there, if you maybe caught that. So pretty. I really love this color. I use it a lot. It's got a lot of orange in it, yellow in it rather, which makes it look orange. And when you're color mixing, it's very common. You're going to have to change out your water a lot because you're using a lot of water in there. And you'll notice how much paint you use when color mixing. That's why I like having this MeiLang set that is affordable, and you're not spending a fortune playing with these. Okay, there's our gold. And let's put that gold down first. And then we'll cover it with that yellow sienna, and let's see what we get. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's pretty too. So there you go. There's a whole color palette. There's not a huge difference, but there is a subtle difference. And I found when using these, I feel like the gold creates a little bit more color variations. I think this one blends in a little bit more with most colors. That's just my experience. So there you go. And then I'm gonna, oops, just now I went into my wrong water. Let's make sure my brush is clean. Yep. So there you go. I'll go in, I will label all these, and when I go to make maybe some holiday wreaths or berries or something, I'm going to be able to create a little color palette before I paint of what type of hues I want and what colors I used. So I hope this was fun for you. Create these in your little Artisto pads. They're so fun to have and to come back and reference and just to play with. All right, I will talk to you all soon, and I will link these for you if you like. I got to go back and find them in my Amazon. And happy painting, everyone. I'll see you soon.